We're heading to Croatia and another beer from the Beer52 Croatia box for this month. This is a summer in Zagreb and it's a wheat beer. But what's it going to be like? Keep on watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Now, those of you that watched the live stream that was from last week, would have been about last week, I did a sort of I was talking and I did a few little sort of mini reviews of some of the beers from the Croatia Beer52 box for this month. I went through 5 of the beers. I don't think anything really jumped out of being anything decent, but I've got 3 left that I didn't drink, and I thought, well, it's not really enough for a live stream, so I thought I'd review them individually here on a video. So the beer we've got today is this one, and I love the artwork on it. This is called The Summer in Zagreb. Now, this is a beer from the Medvedgrad brewery, obviously in Croatia. I'll read you a little bit what it says here. It says the beer is dedicated to the famous Zagreb beach on the river Sava. They're really small writing. I'm getting new glasses, so hopefully I better read these better. That existed at the beginning of the 20th century. Nowadays, when everyone goes on the coast during the summer, these times illustrated on the label are the only distant memory. So it's obviously, this is a river where you spent the summer. That's why it's called summer in Zagreb. And this is a wheat beer, white beer. So yeah, it's a white beer. And it's coming in at 5.2%, and that's about all we know really. I mean, I don't drink many wheat beers really on the channel. It's not my favourite style, but they do usually pop up from time to time, especially the European boxes from Beer52. But let's pour this one out and see what it's all about. As I said, the other beers that we had, I mean, we reviewed quite a few from the Garden Factory, which is sort of one of the big sort of craft breweries in Croatia, and they were all very sort of averagey really, so almost in line with a lot of Beer52. I am at that point where I'm thinking, got excited, and then I'm thinking it's not worth it. Even it's 24 quid for 8 beers, but I'd rather buy 8 beers from the supermarket at 3 quid. I'm going to get more enjoyment out of them. But anyway, this beer, you can see a lot of carbonation there, bubbles sticking to the bottom but moving up quite quickly. We've got literally half a finger of sort of soapy head. That ain't going to stay around too long. And it's a sort of yellowy orange with a sort of slightly darker sort of hazy tinge on it, very much like the sort of wheat beers that we've had before. And I'm expecting to get those sort of orangey, that coriander. That's the sort of aromas I expect. Yeah, and I'm getting them. It's that sort of cloves and sort of spicy, some sort of like spicy, herby, green sort of herbs in there. But for me, wheat beers are about that clovey, sort of orangey sort of aroma, and I'm sure it will taste very similar, which again is not my favourite. So let's see where we go with it. Cheers, everyone. It's light. It's very thin. It's quite carbonated. And it's definitely tastes. There's no, it's a wheat beer. It's that sort of flavour, that sort of coriander, cloves, orange, and that's about it really. There's not much else to say about it. It's very bang average. It tastes too fizzy to me, far too fizzy. The fizziness is almost so overpowering that the flavour's a little bit sort of dulled back because of it. All you get is that fizzy sort of, with a slight sort of florally, orangey sort of flavour. And that is literally it. It's thin, it's light. I don't know, I mean, I'm sure if people are out there and they go, oh yeah, I like the old wheat beer, or wheat beer, then they probably would, maybe they could, probably give a better review than me of this. For me, it tastes like a lot of the others. There's nothing that makes it stand apart. It's just light and orangey, that's it. With this sort of, the sort of almost bready, clovey, coriander. They're the sort of flavours, you know. And to be honest, I don't know about you guys, but that's not really what I want in my beer. They're not the flavours that I don't want coriander in my beer. I really don't, you know. I like it in my curry, but not in my beer. Cloves, yeah. I mean, I like that sort of, when you guys like for me, cloves is all about sort of like those sort of puddings, you know, and cakes and stuff like that. Again, don't want it in my beer, but it's very inoffensive though. So as much as you can get those flavours there that are very traditional, there's nothing in there that sort of makes it go, oh yeah, it's too much. But like Beer52 beers, it's almost a little bit, it's just lacking in everything. Mouthfeel's disappointed. Spiky sort of prickly carbonation is too much, and it's thin. There's no sort of body to it at all. But let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for the Summer of Zagreb, and this is by the Medvedgrad Brewery. I'll say that they're Croatian, whether they are based in Zagreb as well. I don't think they are. No, yep, they are. They're based in Zagreb as well. Lovely artwork, a very sort of, I don't know, I mean, what do you call this, sort of 1920s sort of, I think you'd say that 1920s sort of cartoony imagery of summers gone by when the people in Croatia used to spend it on the river there in Zagreb, opposed to on the beach. And this is a wheat beer coming in at 5.2%. And to be honest, it's bang average. I mean, it is the most average beer that you can, I mean, it's a great, for me, it's a great example of Beer52 beers. Average. Sometimes you get something a little bit better than average. Sometimes you get stuff that's not that great at all. But this is just average. Yeah, but we'll go through the scores. Aroma. Smells like a wheat beer. It's got that cloves, coriander, orange is the sort of fruit aroma there. And then there's, you know, as you say, the cloves, the coriander, that sort of real heavy, bready sort of aroma is all through this. It's very sort of wheat beer-esque, you know, there's nothing different. It's not bad, but again, it doesn't have big, strong, you know, aromas that make you want to drink it. So I'm giving it 10 out of 20 for aroma. Appearance-wise, well, it's a nice looking colour. You've got some nice lacing in the glass. The head is sort of, I mean, it never was a massive head to begin with, but it's still there. It's not completely gone. It doesn't look too bad, so I'm giving it a very average 7 though out of 10 for appearance. Flavour-wise, it's mellow in a little bit. Sometimes you can have a wheat beer and it's like the clove sort of flavour can be really overpowering. This is not too bad balance-wise with the cloves, with an orange, and then, you know, and that breadiness, the little hints of coriander in there as well. But for me, that sort of flavour in a beer just doesn't quite work. And what lets it down, like a lot of beers, is that it's very, very thin and it's very, very fizzy. It's quite carbonated to the point where the carbonation almost sort of knocks out some of that flavour just because it's so prickly as it goes across the taste buds. So for flavour-wise, I'm giving it a 28 out of 40. Value for money, it's a Beer52. £3 for this, yeah, I mean, I don't think that's great value for a 330ml bottle. As much as I love the artwork, and it's a lovely concept and looks really good on you know, in terms of beer bottle wraps, that's, you know, it's up there with some of the better ones. So I think that's pretty good. But value for money, £3 for it. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. And then my overall experience, well, it's difficult for me because if it's one style of beer I'm not keen on, it's a wheat beer. It's got that wheaty breadiness and it's got the flavours, you know, I've said them a million times, but they are quite sort of dialed back. Sometimes you can have it and it's like potent, and that can be even more off-putting for me. So in terms of my overall experience, would I want to drink it again? No, because I'd never go out and go to a bottle shop and go, oh yeah, I just want one of those types of beers. It's not the style, so But I think even in terms of the style and the where it fits in it, it's not a great example. So I'm giving it 10 out of 20 for overall. And then we top those scores up, we get a 62 out of 100. It's a low score. It's difficult to recommend, really. It's a Bon Jovi. It's a little bit bland. It's thin. It's light. It's fizzy. It's got a slight orangey, clovey, coriander sort of flavour. That's it, pretty much, in a nutshell. If you like wheat beer, I don't know. I mean, you might like it. If you've had it, what do you think? I mean, maybe you're a fan and you think, actually, Rocker, this one is a really great example of the style of beer, and it's got a lovely artwork, and yeah, actually, it's one of the better ones. I mean, when I think of the ones that we've had so far, it's got something a bit different about it, if nothing else. So there's that. And as I said, the artwork looks good. So I hope you enjoyed that review. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. If you're not a subscriber, then please subscribe. I have hit 1,000 subscribers a week or so ago now. So I'm thinking about, I wanted to do a competition to build up to it, but we got to the point where we literally did the live stream and then we got it pretty quickly. So I'm going to do a competition. I've got a really, which I think is a really nice prize. It's a bit different. It's a beer related prize that I want to give away to people. So keep tuned, watch out for that. I will only be giving it out to people that subscribe to the channel, so please subscribe if you're not already, and then watch out for that in the next sort of few days. Certainly within this month, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to get it together and then see how I'm going to sort of present it to you guys. So hope you enjoyed this. There's 2 more Beer 52s and 1 more snack. I'm probably going to do that all in one video because the two beers are cut from the same brewery and they look fairly similar. So look out for that one. That will probably come tomorrow or the next day, really. And until the next one, keep on rocking.